Uprisers, hi, it is Tricia LaCroix once again with Sacred Uprising Institute, awakening the consciousness of infinite love. And this morning we have Bliss, and she will be here today to continue her series on the Conscious Evolver and to discuss reconstruction and planning. But until she jumps on and we start, we're going to just go over a few announcements. We have three videos today. The next video is going to be at noon Pacific Standard Time with Terry, our energy healer, and she will be discussing forgiveness, learning to forgive ourselves. And then we have Lisa, Dr. Lisa, at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and she will be discussing everyday sacredness, my body is a temple. So looking forward to those. And tomorrow, once again, we have Christy that will be on tomorrow, our astrologer, and I will be continuing my series as well on calling in the one. Also wanted to make the announcement to remind everybody we have the Sacred Uprising Conference that will take place September 18th, 19th, and 20th in right outside of Santa Cruz, California, and we will have information on our website so you can take advantage of the early bird registration. So I'm excited about Bliss's. You know, she has a workbook that you can go to her website and get the digital copy of her workbook for only $10. And that workbook for this week is talking about reconstruction and planning. It is, and what I love, the first thing she says about it is that reconstruction planning is a birthplace of new ideas and direction. It's here for you to give form and structure to a new potential that was conceived through divine inspiration. And as you all know, Bliss is absolute divine inspiration. So, still waiting for Bliss to come on. I'm assuming there's some technical difficulties with her jumping on. One thing I'd like to mention as I continue to wait for her is that I would love for people to email me with ideas, matters that you would like to see covered on Sacred Uprising. So we do have some short 5-minute videos that are being added to our hi Bliss.
Hey, gorgeous.
Hey, we have some 5-minute videos that are not going to be live on Facebook, but they're downloaded onto our YouTube channel. So if you want to take advantage of those quick videos, please go to YouTube, subscribe to Sacred Uprising, just look for the peony. We have videos on there on different stones. We have videos on there how to even find a stone that you can actually work with, from grounding to how to clear your home, all different types of 5-minute videos that are just for informational purposes and to help you with your spiritual journey. So I don't want to waste any more time. Bliss, reconstruction and planning. I can't wait to hear this one.
Thank you. I just want to say hi to everybody that's here with us live. And I did post a little bit of a challenge this morning, just so the first person that can type out what last week's stage was before I do the recap wins a free copy of the Conscious Evolver digital workbook. So if anybody can do that now. The beauty of the Conscious Evolver is that it is an 8-step system that has been running in everybody's lives since we've been born. And the difference is that now that we know that there are 8 steps, we are able to reclaim the power of our life, become the captain, driving our beautiful life and creating, rather than having all these things constantly happening to us and feeling like we are constantly reacting to them or hiding from them or repressing them or suppressing them. And so with the Conscious Evolver, we get to take all that control, reclaim all that power, and then with consciousness, evolve the aspects of our life that are looking to be upgraded and improved and brought into a higher state of happiness and love and satisfaction. And so one of the most important things about the Conscious Evolver is to make sure that we're always super clear on what aspect of our life that we are consciously evolving. And so I've determined the 5 categories to be love. And so that can be love of self, love of other, and then it extends out into our relationships, our connection to God, source, spirit, however you want to name that experience. Then there is career, your passion, your service. And then there is your lifestyle. It's how you treat your body, what your hobbies are, what you love to do to keep your mental intellect strong, and how you feed your vessel, how you exercise your vessel. So it's all lifestyle. And then there's the fifth category, which I've just sort of thrown in all challenges, because sometimes when the challenge is right in our face, it's super hard to determine what yeah, what aspect it is. So we always know that it's time to identify an aspect when we find ourselves in the very first stage, which is cupful. And that's when things are feeling stressful or stagnant or unhappy. And then we consciously move ourselves into decompression. And decompression is that very conscious exhale. It's taking 3 minutes to step away from whatever's creating the cupful. And sometimes that three minutes needs to be 3 months, and it's giving away everything you own and going on sabbatical, or it's taking 3 hours and going to the mountains and going for a walk. Then we move into deconstruction. And deconstruction is where we start peeling away all the layers of identity and all the misperceptions of ego, all the things that make us think that we're actually in this world and not in an illusion, in the Maya. So we just want to start peeling away all those layers and really getting to the heart of what is going on for us. And once we've done that, we can transition into emptiness and void. And emptiness and void, when we're here with consciousness and here with awareness, it's a real state of grace. It's just allowing ourselves to feel empty and to be in the void without any fear and without any bypassing, and just to really stay in this graceful, seemingly effortless space of stillness. And just to sit on that narrow fence, knowing that the next stage, and has anybody said it yet?
No.
Did you want to comment? Oh, okay. No free book today. And so once we're in that space, what we know is coming is divine inspiration. And so what was amazing was, as we do these weekly series, everyone has been, as a collective, has been creating this beautiful divine inspiration experience as we are evolving together as a group. And so for me, I had to write a post. Divine inspiration was showering upon me in so many different aspects of my life. And so that brings us to the next phase, which is reconstruction and planning. So now that we've been gifted with all of this new information, new wisdom, new ideas, this new creativity, it might be in the form of someone coming into your life. It might have been some answers that you wanted about your career. It might have been even a new expansiveness in the heart space that connects you to source or God or spirit. It could have come in so many different forms. And for those who are watching with us live, if in the last week you experienced some divine inspiration, I'd really love for you to share it with us so that we can read it out loud and just celebrate, right? Celebrate with you. So we want to take all of this information now and reconstruct what we previously deconstructed. So this is the birthplace of new ideas and direction. So it's here where we give structure to the new potential, this new being that we are becoming. So whereas in deconstruction, it was like we were letting go of all of those old ways of a being, here in reconstruction, we are now in this amazing rebirth space, and we get to recreate in any way that we choose, which is really empowering. And it's really, for me, again, it's that reclaiming of the power that we truly all have within us. So we're reconstructing. So the reconstruction is very much the right brain. So it's very abstract. It's very much just allowing the information to come through. And brainstorming is a perfect example of this. Brainstorming, just grabbing your pen and just letting the creative flow come through.
Right.
So this is not the time to question why. Sometimes we'll have that like knee-jerk reaction, like, oh, that can't be possible. So you just immediately toss it to the side. But in Reconstruction, we're such an open vessel. And so we're just allowing these ideas to come through. However they're coming through in that right brain, abstract, open, receptive, amazing way. And once we've just allowed all of that information to come through, then we allow the transfer from right brain to left brain to occur. And that's where we bring in planning.
What's interesting with what you're saying, so when I do what you call brainstorming, I write, it doesn't matter what is flowing, I write everything down. I'll allow my left brain to get involved after everything is written. So is that
exactly
right? Yep.
That's exactly it. And see, I love that you said that just that time. Because the thing is the conscious evolver has been running in us, all of us, our whole lives. And it's just now that we have these, now that we can identify it and we know what to look forward to and we understand what each stage is like, we can just even honor it with more beauty and more time and more sacred devotion and energy. Because now we're consciously upgrading these aspects of ourselves. So well done. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So then we have the planning. So then the planning is the transfer of the beautiful thoughts and ideas that have come in through the right side of the brain, and then we bring it into the left side of the brain. So the left side of the brain is the linear. It's the intelligent organization. It's the application. It's the integration. It's the strategy. So now we get to see what the universe was gifting us. And now we get to see how these new ideas get to be implemented into our new reality as we recreate this new aspect of self. So that's reconstruction and planning. And so what's really important is that we don't rush this stage. So when I developed and was transmitted the Conscious Evolver back in 2012, I integrated it into my life immediately. And was really profoundly honored that that this system works with such proficiency and efficiency and effectiveness.
How has it transformed your life? How has it transformed your life?
Well, every aspect of my life, and see, this is the thing, right? Every aspect of our life can always be upgraded to a next higher purpose next higher, right? And so it's almost like our consciousness as a whole got to a space where it just sort of became a little bit stagnant and perhaps complacent. And so the Conscious Evolver got imprinted into our reality just to help us be a little bit more proactive and maybe perhaps more in control of the consciousness elevation that we are capable of becoming. And so back in 2012, when I started integrating it into my life, there were quite a few areas of my life that needed upgrading. I wasn't speaking to my mother. That was one. So my relationship with my mother was not in a good, healthy place. And, it's 6 years later and my mom's become my friend and we actually have love for one another. And even that, our relationship constantly goes through the Conscious Evolver cycles and brings us to all new levels of higher purpose, which is the 8th stage. But one of the things that I found out right away was that one of my bad habits in my whole life was that I would receive the divine inspiration and constantly skip reconstruction and planning. And I would just go straight into action, like just, oh, there's a great idea, and just implement it right away. And then sure enough, I would find myself in cup full again because I hadn't taken the time to be in reconstruction and planning. So reconstruction.
Yeah. Wow. That just hit me really hard. That's really good. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that can go two ways, right? So you can either jump over reconstruction and planning, like I was notorious for. I'd still catch myself sometimes. Or the other thing is you can get stuck in reconstruction and planning and stay there for weeks
Right.
and months and not move it forward.
Right.
And that can happen out of fear as well. And then what will happen is, again, you'll find yourself regress and back into cup full. So yeah, we really want to make sure that we honor the divine inspiration that has come in, and we take the time to reconstruct and plan and really recreate this beautiful version of ourself and of this aspect, so that as we move along into the next two stages, which is action and then in higher purpose, that we're able to stay in our higher purpose with this aspect of our life with for some time, and really to enjoy it and to be victorious and to reap what we have sown,
Right.
Rather than getting automatically catapulted back into cup full because we rushed some of these important stages.
You know, I wonder how many of the people that are watching, and thank you, I see, and just so you know, I see every comment that everybody's making, but I'm so focused on what Bliss is saying. But let me say this, is that how many people can think of when they are not going through, taking that time to go through the reconstruction and planning? I can think of particular instances where I have not done that. And yeah, and so then I went back to cup full. So I think it's that just shows the clarity of how important this step truly is. Because if I would have taken the time for this step, I wouldn't be back in cup full again. So that's great.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we also want to just remember that in deconstruction, there was a real peeling back of the layers of who am I? and we really released all those layers of weight and baggage and the conditions and the labels and the identities. And then what we're bringing ourselves into this new space where with clarity we can say, this is who I am.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And with that comes confidence, and with that comes this this new strength of self, this new strength of the being that I am now stepping out into the world has this reclaimed power, and this is all part of the process, and this can happen with all the different aspects that we work on.
Right. Okay.
Which I really love.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll go into some of the key words for reconstruction and planning.
All right.
Driven, organized, brainstorm, strategize, integrate, formulate, rebuild, and coordinate.
Now, are these, you have the workbook that covers all that. Are those words, are the mantras, are is that all in the workbook?
So the workbook that I share for $10 on my website, blissprema.com, is version 1.
Okay.
What I'm sharing with you right now is version 2, which is going to become an online course very soon.
Yay! Okay.
And it was written by one of the beautiful Seviots who is a part of the Initiate Circle that I started in 2017. And she is a university professor. So she included her beautiful PhD, amazing intelligence into V2. Okay. And so that will be a really beautiful integrative online course that people can really dive into, and that's coming.
Okay.
In.
All right.
Yeah, hopefully in time for the conference.
Right.
That's
yes.
my goal.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Yeah, Sacred Uprising Conference. So I just wanted to read out some of the stuff that people have shared. Experience that William. Hi, William. And a lot of the people live with us right now are absolute love, dear hearts. And so just so much love and gratitude to each of you for joining us live today. William says, experiencing this every minute of every day, every present moment, divinity. And William, you are just divine inspiration in motion. Candace says, our one-on-one around becoming light as mother, holy divine inspiration. Beautiful. That's some work that Candace and I worked on. That's amazing. So thank you so much, everyone, for sharing. I really appreciate that. So we do get to go into the mantra for divine or reconstruction and planning. And that is, I reconstruct myself and plan with impeccability.
Reconstruct myself and plan with impeccability. Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And so what's beautiful about that is it's really taking that accountability and that ownership for the reconstruction. So I'm not just going to be like willy-nilly or lazy or forgetful or, stay in this space too long, because I'm literally in the act of reconstructing self. And then the plan with impeccability. For me, that leaves no room for rushing,
Right.
or bypassing the stage, because if I truly want to reconstruct this being with impeccability, then I will give it the honorable time that it deserves and requires.
Right.
And then that leaves us with the
Yes,
chakra.
I was waiting for this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's beautiful about reconstruction and planning is that we now move into the third eye, so the space in between the eyebrow. And I don't know if you know this, Trish, or not, but there's the Fibonacci code, which is the golden ratio. And it's no matter what, you can, it's like this number of sequence that everything in nature, once it's divided into itself, it always has this sequence of numbers. Is it 1.143, and then it goes on literally for infinity. But you can also take that same Fibonacci code and divide our body parts, and you'll find the same code over and over again. So it's called the golden ratio, and
Yes.
and it's literally what we are in creation
Right.
of. So for those watching, if you want to find the exact location of your third eye, and this information was gifted by Melchizedek, you just take the distance from your chin and the tip of your nose, and then divide it into the tip of your nose, and then there's your third eye.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so if you want to do a third eye opening, you can just do some tapping there.
Which is interesting, since you mentioned that. My guides were doing that to me 2 weeks ago, just dinging my third eye. They kept dinging it, and I'm like, what are you doing? And so,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there is a lot of third eye work that you can do. Archangel Michael loves to help clear the third eye.
He was the one doing it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, because it was him.
Right? Confirmation. And so also too, if you've watched, maybe a TV show or a movie and it was quite graphic or gory, what you can just do is you can call in the violet flame, you can call in Archangel Michael, and you can just do counterclockwise cleansing of the third eye, and that'll help clear the third eye.
That's good to know.
So
Great.
For reconstruction and planning, we want the third eye to be our deep wisdom and intuition space that is calling in all of these beautiful ideas and creative thoughts and constructs and new ways of working with our divine inspiration.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. There's some people wanting to know more about third eye work. We might have to do a video on that. That is really amazing. Yeah. Great. That's wonderful. Well, Bliss, you know what? There are times where I see the titles of what you're going to talk about. I'm like, okay, I don't understand, but I know I'm going to learn something. And today was that. I knew reconstruction, that's like renovation. It's change, it's rebuilding. But the way that you spoke about it, for me, will impact me moving forward, because it's going to assist me. And I hope that those of you who have not ordered her workbook, that you go and order it, and that you take it in, and that you put the time. It's easy to watch these amazing videos, but to do the inner work, there's a bit more requirement. And so to go in and to order the workbook and start devouring it and seeing, in fact, you can even go to our YouTube channel, watch her video, and then read the workbook, because that will only solidify it. You'll be hearing it and you'll be reading it, and that will make even a greater impact in your life. So I highly recommend that. And Bliss, tell us again what your website is, and how you are open to assisting our viewers.
Yeah, thank you. And I really love what you said there, Trish, because we really do our best in terms of evolving when we use our senses to the best of our ability. So not only is it reading, but it's doing the journal
Yes.
work and writing. And then and the beauty of the Conscious Evolver is that it's really based on self-direction. It is a very simple formula that everyone can follow through and become that powerful force in their own life as they reclaim their energy. So my website is blissprema.com, and the workbook is available there for $10. I do 30-minute soul to soul activations and deep dives with people. And I also do 60-minute Conscious Evolver coaching sessions. I offer all my services at pay what you can afford, although there is a value listed there. So if you can afford the value listed, great. And if not, I'm just happy for us to connect. And because I've been the steward of the Conscious Evolver for, well, since 2012, it's my passion and my gift to be able to assist people as they integrate this beautiful system into their life and upgrade aspects of their life that frankly just deserve to be fully loved and happy and successful. And that's my intention for all, is for everyone to be in a space of happiness and love.
Well, one other thing I want to add, if you work with Bliss, there's something additional that she has no control of that will radically change your life. And she is a portal of source energy. And so when you do speak with her one-on-one, you will get it energetically. I can feel it. I can see it emanating from her, and it will change your life. So please take we are offering you so many of our wisdom keepers. They all have gifts that can take you to a new way of living. Take advantage of that, especially pay what you can based on some values that she's posted. There's no reason why you can't take advantage of that and have your life radically change. So I highly recommend that you do that. And next week, those of you that do take advantage of it this week, let us know. Message, talk about what she's done and working with her, how it is changing your existence. Because when one rises, we all rise. When one succeeds, we all succeed. So let's do this together with the consciousness of one. So Bliss, thank you so much. I love you to the moon and back.
You too, Trish. Okay, and so I love what you just said there, and I just want to add one quick thing.
Sure, yeah.
So with consciousness and with awareness, for everyone that's joined us live and that will watch it in the future, for the next week, really take this divine inspiration and know that we have a week. And in this week, you can make your choices, select your dates, write your lists, create your schedules, consider timing, place that call, ask for specific information, and see how you can get from A to B, but don't put it into action yet. Okay. Really honor this week coming up as we as a collective commit to reconstruction and planning. Who are you going to become? How are you going to reconstruct this beautiful aspect of self so that we can all put it into action?
So what I'm going to do next week when we talk about this, I'm going to bring something. So I will be the first one to own up to that challenge, okay? And everybody follow suit. Let's change our lives together.
Amazing.
All right, wonderful. All right, Liz,
I love
thank
you so
much.
Trish.
Love
thank you, beautiful.
Okay.
And thank you, Candace and Lori and William and all these beautiful souls watching us live. You are so loved. Mackie and oh God, Perry, so much love.
All right, we'll see you in an hour, everyone. Stay tuned. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay,
bye.
Love you.